Welcome to Realtor Talk with Steph and Kel.
Hey guys,
Hi, I'm Stefanie Campbell.
and I'm Kelly Dugan.
Whether you're buying, selling, or just curious on the ins and outs of the real estate world, you've come to the right place.
What are we going to talk about on this podcast?
Everything, duh.
You name it, we cover it.
Tune in weekly as we bring you insightful conversations with industry experts, success stories, horror stories, and definitely some laughs along the way.
What's up?
Welcome, episode. I'm starting to lose count. 24,
Five?
24 or 25. One
I
of
think
them.
it's 25.
Okay.
But I'm laughing actually to myself because I'm thinking about how many times I sing at the intro, like hello.
It's so funny.
Like,
yes.
wouldn't it be really funny to loop them all together?
That would be
I mean, I
good.
have the world's worst voice, so
I want to release
apologies.
our first that grainy podcast from that cheap camera on your couch from that one day.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
We'll
There
have
has
to
been
put that out
so
there.
many. I know.
There's
we
been so
gotta
much
make
trial
sure
and
we
error.
don't delete some of this stuff because it'll be really funny.
I don't ever have to worry about you deleting anything.
I'm a digital hoarder, according to Kelly.
Stephanie is a digital hoarder.
I do. My phone. I mean, the amount. I don't have my phone right now, but the amount of. How many pictures? I don't know, like 30,000?
I mean, it'll like be, she'll have this back
40,000? I
Like,
don't
what
even
did you
know.
bring into the office? And they were like all full, all of your drives, and you're like, I can't.
I had all these
your-
external drives at my house.
of your old marketing stuff from your old job. Can you guys imagine how outdated that probably is?
Okay, I know, and I'm obviously never going to use it, but then also I'm like, oh, it's kind of sad to just like, goodbye work, you know? And then I literally like I brought in accidentally like my wedding video and
And I'm the worst with that stuff. Like I'm bad at kind of like capturing things. I always rely on my friends to capture the moments and send me the photos later.
yeah, that I'm kind of that person too. So what's up lately? Tell me what's going on. Like
I feel like I've been busier than I expected to in the fall.
Kelly's killing it
honestly.
this fall.
It's been a well, I mean, we're in September, so it's not too
you're
crazy
right.
ahead
You're
of
right.
ourselves. But
You're right.
it looks like a good fall. I actually
I want to
have
see you
been
flex. Like show me your.
literally a t-shirt on
Wait,
today.
actually, I asked her. I was like, wait, when do you do cardio? And this is, I feel like a tell your cardio thing. Come on. I know.
I will. Well, every day just to warm up, I'll do like 15
And you
minutes
work
on
out
the treadmill.
out of the 7 days a week. How many days do you work out? You think?
Monday through Friday. Sometimes I'll miss a day, but usually not on the weekends. But usually it's pretty consistent Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Um,
Managing expectations over here.
well, I always start like sometimes. Honestly, there's been times where I've gone in the gym and I did my normal 15-minute. I do like a 15-minute incline on the treadmill.
At what incline and what speed?
I like to. I have like ADHD, so I change it every 30 seconds, and I have like a pattern. So I'll go up all the way to incline 10, the highest, but it's only for 30-second intervals, and then I'll work my way back down, and it's 15 minutes.
So every 30 seconds you're changing the incline.
Yeah, and I'll change the speed like up, like I'll start at like your bare minimum, like 3 speed, 0 incline, and every 30 seconds I'll go 3.1 to a 4 incline to a 5 incline to
What is the fastest you go?
My fastest walk is a 4.5. I cannot. I look like so ridiculous if I try.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I'm short. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you are shorter than me.
Well, not that shorter, but I'm just saying, like 4.5 walks.
It's a very, very, very power walk.
Unattainable. That's like I'm like I feel like that's sprinting.
You're literally like pumping your arms, borderline looking like an idiot. But that's the fastest
Have you seen
walk
Have
I
you
can
seen those
do.
Olympics that are like
Oh,
speed
yeah.
walkers? Yes. Maybe you missed your
Do you
calling.
actually want to know a funny story?
Oh God.
When I was on a bachelorette party 2 years ago, this was at in Lake of the Ozarks, and we did speed walking contests at the pool, and it was just actually hilarious. It was just one of those dumb drunk things, just going up to random people on like how fast, and then just literally the entire people, everyone by the pool, were all in this line in bathing suits, timing each other on our phones of just how fast you can speed walk, and it was hilarious in the moment.
Oh
but,
my God,
yeah.
that sounds so funny. Did you win?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to know who's fierce. Somebody with daddy long legs, probably.
But no, I actually wanted to start out really quick with a quick story of something Stefanie and I, we like to beat in everyone's heads about being contingent and buying and yada yada.
Okay.
So I had these clients of mine, and we had every intention on doing it the way that Stefanie and I suggest, in the sense of, basically selling your house first before you go and submit offers on properties.
Can we like please make a strong disclaimer that this is not typical, because I don't want to be hearing people like.
Oh, right. Yes. Well, this is going to be a story that results in people being like, okay, I don't want to be in that predicament.
Oh, okay. All right. Keep going.
Stephanie's okay because it's a negative output. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. Yeah.
But okay, so we had photos scheduled for their house. We were gonna, go on the market right away. However, in the midst of the 4-day window where photos get scheduled and everything, their favorite house pops up on the market. So we knew it was a risk, we knew it was a gamble, but we did, and we got a home sale contingent offer accepted. However, we were literally listing their house like that weekend. I pricing it super aggressively, doing all of the things
You mean
right.
super like aggressively,
competitive,
as in like
right at market,
as in like it should sell
honestly
quickly.
slightly below market value, and we ended up getting multiple offers, and
See?
everyone's super
Okay.
happy about it. So, but hold on, before all this, so we had all this, and then we were under contract. I'm just going to use random numbers, but I'll use the same amount of difference it ended up costing my buyer. Let's say we were under contract for $525, $530, and so they got accepted, home sale contingent. We got their property on the market before we even got one showing into their house, so we didn't have any offers yet. The people that were selling the house that he was buying was like, hey, we got a cash offer. Are you guys going to waive your contingency? We tried every which way of like trying to waive this contingency. Nope, wouldn't work. Nothing worked. So we were like, I told him, I was like, the only other option we can do is offer them more money and hope that they'll stick with us, because from my understanding with my conversation with the agent, this cash offer was the same price as ours. And so my client ended up, now we're under contract basically again for $560, so $30,000 more, and
Than they were originally paying.
Than they were originally paying,
So that
solely because of their contingency, not a change in closing date, not a change in anything. And now, mind you, on top of paying that additional $30,000, it's also too, you lose all of your negotiating power when it comes like as is to the max. Like, you're not asking for one thing, and it all worked out because, quite honestly, at that first original price, they were getting a deal to the point where I'm like, all right, this actually, it's almost too good to be true. And it was. And then the price that we're actually under contract for, in my opinion, is more closer to the market value. But still, if we weren't contingent, we would have solidified and sealed that deal up right from the start when it was at that lower price without any remaining risk after that.
So a home sale contingency cost somebody $30,000.
Yeah, essentially. Mic
So
drop.
that's your story.
Yeah,
I know. And I mean, again, like, that's the thing is,
so just do what you can to avoid it. That was just a quick little story. And
I mean, the thing is like nobody could also, well, that's the whole point. Because even if you are under contract, until you are able to waive that contingency, you are vulnerable for somebody kicking you out that entire time.
vulnerable is the perfect word to use, because you really are. It's kind of, I mean, and granted, we were
And I want to stress how rare it is, especially in this market, to get a home sale contingency accepted.
Mm-hmm. And
very
honestly,
rare.
and really, like the biggest, I even called the agent beforehand, let them know our situation, and it's not like they were dying for a home sale contingent offer, but it happened to be the best that they got at that time. But yeah, so just wanted to give that little snippet of not so great story for my client. But our topic today, we're going to do another listener's choice where we go on our.
So the listener's choice is topics that you guys have wrote in to our survey from the podcast. So.
And thank you so
Yes.
much. Keep doing so.
Please keep sending topics. Please keep.
Do you do karaoke? Like if karaoke was at
and
a bar?
I have a terrible voice. Like
I have such a bad voice, and I always want to sing.
You know who actually has? Niall sings a lot.
Does he? Is he
He's got
good?
a pretty decent voice. If you want to tell him, but
what kind of music will Niall sing? Like,
he sings everything, and sometimes I'm literally on the phone upstairs, and he's like singing a ballad downstairs, and I'm like, shut up.
I'm the same way. Maybe it's a Pisces in us.
Oh,
Because sometimes
you guys
Corey will be
are
like, "Where did that come from?" And I'll just start
belting it
Yeah.
out. I know, that's how he is.
All right, let's hit me with a question. What do we
Okay,
got?
here's the question. How do you know when the house is the one? I'm stuck in analysis paralysis mode, and I like a lot of houses I see, but I get nervous and find something wrong with them. Is this normal?
I love this question.
I love this question so much. I want to frame it.
Yeah, whoever made this question, come forward, please, because this is a great question.
Yeah.
This I'm gonna have a little bit of a psychological take.
Okay, go.
I personally, and I think you agree with me, I don't think that I think it's very actually rare for you to walk through the threshold of a door and have that fairy tale feeling of this is the one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that exists. I think, and you actually taught me this saying, and it is, if you walk in and you're scared of somebody else buying it, that's a very good, if you don't want anyone else to have it, that's a really good sign on, this could be the one. I just think that mindset of like, of course, there's nerves, human nature, there's nerves. It's a big investment and everything like that. So I think that the excitement, you should know that's there, but I don't think that you walk in and like all signs point to like 1000% yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. No, I'm in complete agreement. I think, and I've used this analogy a lot with younger buyers. I say, like, for me, when I compare it to wedding dress shopping, I'm the type of person that I overanalyze. I think I tried on like 100 wedding dresses. I might be exaggerating, but you just think that you're going to try this on and go, this is the one. And you just don't.
No.
For me, I didn't. I know there's plenty of people out there that do, and
you're too analytical.
Yeah. I just can't. And I think too about, actually I brought my mom to show her the wedding dress that I had picked out, and she's like, no. And then she had me trying another one that day at the store, and like that was the one I bought.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and actually I really liked the one she picked. I'm so happy I picked it instead.
Wow, good
I know.
job,
So
Mom.
sometimes mothers know best. But I want to say that, and that's only like an itty bitty bit of money compared to what you go to spend on a house. If you walk into a house and go, oh my God, this is the one, and you're just ecstatic with not an ounce of fear, I question your level of sanity.
I get a little bit like, ooh, this all feels like a love bombing honeymoon stage. Like, you need to, let's get it. Like,
and I mean, or maybe you have no concept of money, or I have no idea. But I think the more normal reaction is to be scared. Because
yes.
who spends $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, whatever your budget is, who spends that kind of money and has 0 ounce of fear?
Exactly.
That is more crazy to me.
Yes.
But again, maybe it's because I sympathize with this, emphasize with this person that wrote in, because I also am an analysis paralysis person.
Oh gosh, I'll sit there for a long time. I mean, with anything, from something as little as, if there is a property that I'm like, oh my gosh, should we buy this, versus what I'm having for dinner tonight.
And I think I also often say the joke in showings that we often think about what we're having for dinner more than we think about the house that we're submitting an offer on. And that's why I say, like, one positive thing about Illinois is that we get that period to think about whether we want to proceed with the purchase or not. Mm-hmm. So don't be scared to write the contract. The contract virtually doesn't mean much until you get out of attorney review and inspection. We have contracts cancel left and right all the time. We don't want to make a habit of putting a seller through that emotional turmoil. But if you change your mind, and it's a logical reason to change your mind, then go ahead and change it.
Yeah.
But don't change your mind just because you think fear means that you should change it. Yeah. You should be fearful. And that's why I just think it's great to write down the reasons, the pros, the cons, think about the logic, why you should, why you shouldn't. And please keep in mind, this is something that everybody has to remember, wherever you end up landing, you're going to love, and it's going to be your home. It's very few times that we actually have people that buy something and regret it. I mean, it's happened a few times, but you know what they did? They moved. Mm-hmm. And they didn't even lose money. Like the couple that I'm thinking of in my head right now, they turned a profit because maybe they jazzed their home up a little bit or did some cute things. So there's a lot, people don't need to feel permanent about this decision.
Right. Yeah. And that's a very, very good point. And going back to the question of, when you get so nervous and find something wrong with them. So every house, we've said this a million times, like there's going to be something wrong with every house. I mean, there's a reason why we recommend a home inspector still inspect your home, even when you're building new. There's always going to be something. And so I am there as that voice of reason when we're going through this house, because obviously chances are we've had a meeting about what you're looking for. I know what your must-haves are. I know what's important to you. And I'm kind of there for that voice of reason to point out, like, okay, the most important things were not getting hit with all of these big ticket items as soon as you close. So like this one has a new roof and new windows. Sure, the floor could use some updating and the kitchen's a little bit outdated, but How long are you staying here? Can you put some sweat equity into this? Like really determining what are your must-have, need to be checked boxes and priorities, and knowing what you would bend on. I think once you open up your mindset to that, it'll get easier.
And I do think going back to that, if you're one of our clients that wrote this in, maybe you're somebody that's dabbling in the idea of moving and you haven't met with us yet. Like, let's schedule an actual buyer meeting
Totally.
and hash this out. And we're going to ask you all the questions. It's kind of like
I would love that they came out and they're like, okay, that was me. Let's schedule a meeting.
Yeah, it's like a therapy session prior to us going out to shop to kind of find out what are the priorities. And we're going to help you decide on those priorities. So for instance, again, like going back to some of our other podcasts, like, is the location what you want? Because you can't change that, right? Then let's think about the size, because it's a little bit harder to change a size. Then let's think about layout. Let's think about the aesthetics last. I don't care if it's an ugly kitchen and bathroom and this
yard
and that.
size even too, if yard size is a big one, or even like sometimes that additional like big, detached pole barn or garage is going to add like those things. Like sometimes that's, if I have a single guy, chances are that's their only must have on their list is a pole barn.
Right. But like, let's not worry about that ugly bathroom.
Yep.
Like, let's not buy a house because this or that and the other. And like, people always say like, yeah, but I don't want to get involved in like contract work and this. And you should, because chances are that there's going to be something just going head first about playing contractor on your house, because you're eventually going to need a new window, a new roof, new mechanicals. Things break in homes all the time. And, people are also scared of like water and this and that. Like, I waterproofed my basement. There's so many solutions to every problem. So everything's fixable pretty much.
Everything's fixable. It's just a matter of how much. That's something Gary told me that I'll always have, because truthfully, if I'm being honest, I don't like water in a basement. I mean, obviously to an extent, it does not scare me. I think we're in the Midwest, and I think that there's a solid chance that at some point, if you are a homeowner with a basement, I think at some point you are vulnerable to some sort of seepage.
Well, because some pumps go out all the
but
time.
People hear like, oh, they got water in the basement, and they like run for the hills as if it should be completely like a tear down.
Yeah.
And it's just those false misconceptions. There was one other thing that I wanted to mention that I kind of lost track about. Oh, yeah. Another thing, I see this often in specifically, I feel like first-time home buyers, but it's the fear of what else is coming on the market.
Oh, my gosh. That's a great idea. You're scared of missing out.
You're scared of missing out. You don't want to make an offer on this one because you're scared of what's going to come on the market next week. It's hard.
It's so much like getting married.
Yeah.
Because, or dating.
You hear that, Niall? She really thought about it.
No, but seriously though, like, I mean, how did you pick your husband?
Right. No.
Wife.
For real.
Or wife. But, because something better could always be coming along. But again, this is where I go back to the point of, I think I'm the prime example, because I've lived in my house since 2012, and I think about moving like every other week, maybe more.
Every other day.
Maybe more frequent than that. But I also love my house emotionally so
I'm gonna have
much.
to like send Stephanie to her Airbnb and sell her house for her if it ever gets to that, because you're just gonna be like,
I'm gonna be like a blubbering idiot. I'm gonna cry endlessly.
I feel
I'm gonna be the worst client.
You guys, I mean, the way she sold her neighbor's house, how
I know.
overbearing you were on that entire sale is unreal, because it was your neighbor. So I can't imagine this, but I'll be there to put you in your place.
Okay, it's gonna be so. But that's my exact point though, because I feel like you have to remember, home is where you are with your family, and like
you always make it a home.
Paint that wall. Do that backsplash, do all the little things to make you love it. And it's so funny, like every time I do a project at my house, it reinvigorates like my love for it.
Oh yeah.
Like
I've been just doing the fireplace. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to paint these walls, like all of this stuff. Yeah.
And like it makes you love it. It's not about the home as much as it is like the memories you have and the things you do to it to make it cozy to you.
100%.
And that's why designers get paid what they do. Honestly, God bless designers. Like, and one of my, good friends is one. And I'm always like texting her like when I'm redoing something in my house, and I'm like, seriously, you guys are priceless.
Oh my gosh! I wish give me her number. I need one in my pocket.
Yeah, but anyway,
so yeah, I would say moral of the story is focus on the things you can't change. Be a little more open-minded to the things that you can change, and be extremely overly transparent with your agent as to what it is you're
Yes.
looking for.
Yes, like literally treat us like a psychiatrist and just
Yeah.
like vent to us.
And
then
we'll
we
tell
can-
you if it's realistic or not. Like, I mean, sometimes people will give me a pretty hefty must-have list, and I'm just, and if it doesn't align with the areas and the price range that they're in, I'm honest with them. I'm like, look, if a finished
Yeah.
basement and a 3-car garage and X acre lot, all of these things at this price, you might get a smaller garage and an unfinished full basement, but you know, this, like, there's everything is always going to be a give and take. And you just have to really recognize what's important to you and utilize your agent.
Yeah. Amen.
All right, that was a good listener's choice. We want 1,000,001 more of these types of questions.
Yes, we love these questions. And to answer this question at the end, it said, is that normal? You are very normal.
100%. I actually, even when we bought the Manhattan house, I remember actually thinking this to myself. Like, I was just laying in bed and all these questions, and I'm like, and I'm a realtor, so it's like, yeah, those thoughts, those questions. If there's ever anything floating in your brain that you need to get out,
You want somebody to hash it
Yeah.
out with, and we're
call us. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is literally what we do and talk about on a day-to-day basis. So it's not.
And I think I've said this. I might have said this on this podcast already, but literally the day we closed on the house we live in, I made Niall and Kaylin go back to another house.
What?
Yes, I did. That's how crazy.
What
that's
the
how
heck were you
crazy I am.
planning on doing if you liked it?
I'm not really sure. I had to see it one more time to cross it, like to mentally feel okay about it.
To just make sure that you were like okay with your decision.
Yes.
Wow, thank God you were.
Honestly, I mean, there would have been nothing I could do about
Stephanie's
it.
like, honestly, I'm still in regret.
No, I'm so happy we didn't buy that house. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm happy you didn't buy that lot you almost did too last year, right?
I still think about that one.
All right, well, there you have it for all of Stephanie's regrets that she sits in over the years. But yeah, we love the questions. Keep them coming, and we will talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Tune in weekly for new episodes.
Follow the link in the show notes to answer our survey and have your topics talked about on Realtor Talk with Steph and Kel.
Thanks for listening. Until next time.
Bye.
Ciao.